Can take over from here, sir. Hope you're having an amazing day.
Yes. Good morning to everyone. My name is Francis. I'm in Ghana. I'm calling from Accra, Ghana. It has also been raining here this entire morning, so it is kind of cold here as well. So I'm sure I'm experiencing the same weather that you are also experiencing over there. Um, I'd like to know. Do we have can we have an interactive class today? Can we, I want everyone to participate in what we are going to do today. Um, it's my understanding this has been a class that has been going on for since the beginning of the year. So I'm aware this is not your first time here, but this is my first time here. So I'd like to make sure that this class is an interactive class to hear from you as well as we continue or as we start. Um,
Yes, they can unmute their mic and speak.
okay. That is if you have something to say though, but as we carry on, if you have any questions as well, just let me know. So today's class is about um, Microsoft AI for AI leaders in manufacturing. So we are simply trying to learn, I mean, for the purpose of AI and then the incorporation of AI in several aspects of our lives these days. We've had a series of classes where other trainers have talked to you about AI that has been incorporated in other sectors of organizations around the world. So today is going to be focused on manufacturing, people in the manufacturing industry. So I'll be showing you a couple of demos as well and how to go about it as we carry on. All right. So my first question is I mean, when we talk about Microsoft Copilot, has anybody? I'm sure most of us have heard of Microsoft Copilot. Do we have an idea what it is? Has any of you had an encounter with it? Used it before?
Yes, we do.
Okay. Or say, all right. Thank you for the answer. So Microsoft Copilot, it's a suite of AI-powered tools that is incorporated or integrated into the Microsoft products such as Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and so others. So basically, it's what we call having a smart assistant inside your Microsoft applications. So you can have it is incorporated into your Microsoft Word, Excel, where you can have various data summarized into readable information for you. You just use by the click of a prompt or by the search of some few words, and then it will be broken down into an understandable form for anyone who does not understand whatever you had written prior to the AI added to it. So I would like to share my screen so that we begin. Can everybody see my screen, please?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay.
ChatGPT, right?
So this is Microsoft Copilot. I can send a link to the group, the chat, so that everybody can also participate. Let me do that right now. I've sent it to the group, to the chat.
Hello, Frank. If you can hear me, I can't hear you. Can
I
anybody?
was waiting. No, I haven't spoken yet. I was waiting for everybody to get set up. If you have seen the link, you can click on it so that we can begin.
Fine.
Yeah. Is everybody ready? Are you set up?
Yeah, I think I am ready from my end. So
Okay.
I am also ready from my end.
All right. All right. So basically, we are trying to talk about how AI can be incorporated into the manufacturing industry. In what cases can we use AI to help in our daily work in how do you call it, in the manufacturing sector? So there are several ways you can use it for. So AI can help us optimize supply chain and logistic management. We can also use AI to optimize work downtime, production downtime, KPIs. We can also use it to, calculate material costs and also look to find better suppliers based on the material that we are having. So basically, you can even streamline your whole manufacturing activities with HR, compliance. Everybody can streamline their activities using Microsoft Copilot. There are several features in the Microsoft Copilot system that helps us, streamline our activities and production in the industry or in the manufacturing industry. I, I don't know if any of you have heard of this feature in the Microsoft Core agents, AI agents. So in your interface, you see this called AI agents. So you can click on it. So what this feature in Microsoft Copilot does is allows you to just describe what you want the feature to do for you, and then it will generate certain configure it in a way that it will allow you to streamline every activity in your organization or in your manufacturing company. So for example, I want to create a production downtime. To create a production, to help create, to help minimize production downtime. So it asks you, Great. Now let's determine the name for your agent. So you can call it Production Guardian. Let's just call it downtime. Downtiming. As you are typing, it also tells you what things that you would want it to do for you. So what specific request do you want the thing to do? So we can tell it to quickly analyze trends. We can also tell it to generate informative charts. We can also tell it to determine hours of downtime. We can also tell it to calculate the average production per hour. There are several features you can add to it. We can also let it calculate the total gross losses. Let's just stick to these little features and let's see what it says. So here, what you do is you can add any source. Usually it needs data. It needs a source of data to determine how this will work for your organization. So if you have a database, a cloud database system in your organization, you could equally let it pick that information from that source. I do not have any, so I'll just go with no. I just want to help you, show you how it can be configured. Currently, we have no modifications. I just wanted to create okay, so now it's now setting up. So what it does is now I can move to the try it section where it has created this downtiming system. So let's go to the configure section where you see the bug data of how everything has been generated. So if I had a source or a data source for this setup, I could equally just put the link in this section, in the configure section. Once I do that, it will pick every information from this whenever I need or I need to pull out a specific data that I want. So these are all the prompts I've asked the agent to generate. So for instance, when I go to the try it and I click on calculate the average production, the moment I click on it, it should just generate it for me, but it won't generate because I do not have any data source attached to it. But you see what it did? It already picked up the formula for calculating average production per hour. So if I had a company where today about 10 workers came to work today, out of the 10, 5 are working, but 2 in a different section are not working because maybe the machines that they have there has gone faulty. So they have to wait a little bit till it is restored. These data can be put in here. Since they came to work, everything is being logged. At the end of the day, you can just by just a click of this, generate a report or see what happened. If in case you were not there, see what happened, what the outputs or production, average production per hour was. We can also, so I don't know if you got it. Basically that's what it does. So all I need to do is just give it its data source, and then that will be it. So it's like form of an assistant. For the agents are for some sort of assistants where you can even streamline all your manufacturing activities, create several AI agents, and then it will just be generating it for you. You can also create agents like material cost, where you can analyze contract terms, assess contract terms, identify invoicing errors, automate approval processes, and all that. It can calculate the total amount of spend you have on materials, total amount you spend on shipping, by just creating these agents and just typing it in normal language, and it will generate everything for you. You can have as many agents as possible. You can create as many agents as possible, and then they will work for you. Another feature that Copilot does have, it comes at a subscription, but I do not have it here. But I can also go ahead and teach you how to go about that, and that is using Microsoft Copilot system is incorporated into all our Microsoft suites. That is the Word, Excel, PowerPoint. So for instance, I can open an Excel page. Is my screen still sharing?
Yes, we can still see you.
Yes, yes,
Okay,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
All right. So I open an Excel tab, and then I can just create a blank workbook. And then in a blank workbook, maybe I was doing everything manually. Maybe machine A, on Monday, worked for 1 hour on shift 1, on the first shift. On Tuesday, I worked for 2 hours. So then let's call that shift 2. And maybe finally we can see on Wednesday, it didn't work. So it worked for 0 hours on shift 3. So Microsoft Copilot has an inbuilt system. So it comes at a subscription. So for those who may want to use Copilot, you may have to pay a little bit for that subscription. So on the upper right corner of this suite, or almost all the suites, you would have seen a Microsoft Copilot icon on the upper right corner here, where you can, by just the click of it, you can tell the Excel file we've just created to analyze the following downtime records by machine and shift it to find the most affected areas. We will do this in the normal chat box, but for now, just in case you don't want to go through the entire process of writing it in a chat box, having to copy and paste it all the time in your Excel Word, by just doing this, you can have it you can have, by just giving the Excel this raw data, Microsoft Copilot can analyze the data that you've given it in the Word and arrange it perfectly in your Excel sheet for you. And also analyze the data. It can also go ahead to even create reports for you in your Word. It can even go ahead to formulate emails to repairers and suppliers and let them know the state at which your organization is and whether you can go ahead and work today, the production power that you can produce in a particular day or in a particular week. That is one feature of Copilot that has come to really help, where everything is inbuilt. It's like an assistant where you don't even need to do much work. After everything, it can just automate everything for you. So that was just by the way. You can go back to the chat box and then we can have a series of tests. I want us to go ahead and just with the chat box, we can do a lot of things as well. We are going to try a series of real world scenarios in the manufacturing sector. So what matters in AI is prompts. You need to understand how to organize the chat box the right prompts. Prompting it well will give you the required output that you'd want. So let's go ahead and try several types of prompts that we may have and then see what the output will be. So like I said, you want to create a weekly production report in your organization. You can just prompt it to write a weekly report summarizing machine performance and downtimes. So let's say machine A worked for 2 hours. Downtime was off for 2 hours. Was off for 2 hours, and it was because of a belt issue. Machine B was off for 4 hours because of overheats. And finally, machine C was off for 1 hour because of operator error. So with just this prompt, Copilot can generate a report for you. Yes, a concise report. So it gave us an overview, and then created a tabular form for us, where it gave us a report. So with this, you can even just copy it and then put it into your Word. If your boss requires you to make a report at the end of the day or at the end of the week, ask for a report on why there was a downtime in the organization in several aspects of several parts of the machine. This is a simple report that it can give. It can even include, it suggests other options for you, like including a chart for better visualization. So by clicking on it, It is generating the chart. And then, yes, very simple. All right. Let's go to another prompt and see what it can also do. Another prompt is also to, let's say we want you to analyze downtime records by machine and the shift to find the most affected areas. So let's say analyze the following downtime records by machine and shift to find the most affected areas. So let's say, hold on. So let's say machine A. I'm using the same format we used for the Excel that I just did a couple of minutes ago. And let's see what it generates here in the chat box. Shift 1. On Tuesday, was off for 2 hours. Shift 2. On Wednesday, 0 hours. Shift 3. We can go ahead and machine B, add several machines. On Monday, work for 0 hours. Tuesday, was down for 3 hours. And then Wednesday was down 1 hour. Let's also create another for another machine. Let's say machine C. On Monday was off for 2 hours. On Tuesday was off for 1 hour. And on Wednesday was off for 2 hours. So with this data I've given it, I can just issue the prompts and it will analyze. So it gave us a chart. So the key, it gave us key insights as well. So machine C had the highest downtime of 5 hours, followed by machine A with 3 hours and machine B. So the most affected areas were shift 2, experiencing the most downtime of 6 hours, which included potential issues during the shift across machines. We can also tell it to give us recommendations for reducing downtime. So we can do a preventive maintenance by scheduling regular inspections for all machines, especially machine C, which are the highest downtime. Use machine logs to predict and prevent reoccurring issues like overheating. We can also train operators, because one of the things that's one of the issues that were raised was that there was operator issues. operator or error. So by teaching them, giving them training, you can also solve that problem. Implement a downtime tracking system to log issues by machine, shift, and course. So we see that with this information gathered, we can get so many help and then suggestions. We can also help create a downtime tracking template. So if you need a template, you can also create one from scratch for us, so that we can help track the downtime in our organization. And so on. There are so many things co-pilots can be used for, can do. Let's create another prompt. I've been focusing on the downtimes too much. So let's say you want it to check, because of production, you deal with, in manufacturing, they deal with suppliers, they deal with raw materials, they deal with transport and delivery of materials. So certain things that can affect these production is what is the weather. So we can tell the prompt, the chat to generate a production forecast summary. Anything can happen. So you can forecast which days or which months have the best time, has the best yield, brings us peak. There are so many things that can factor this. So we can let it generate a forecast summary for us. So the prompt is, let me give it a prompt. So based on this data, I'm about to give it data, forecast product output for the next quarter, and mention peak production periods. So let's say in January, we're able to produce 1,500 units. In February, we produced 1,700 units. In March, 1,006. In April, 1,008. And then May, 1,009. So it has generated a report for us based on the production data from January to May. Here's a forecast for the next quarter. So it has what? Forecasted based on the trajectory of our production. It had forecasted and realized that we've been making what? Series of increase since the beginning of the year. So it had forecasted that in June, we'll be creating around 2,000 units, in July, 2,100, and August, 2,200 units. It is expected that August is projected to be the peak month with an estimated output of 2,200 units. Here is a visual representation, and it has created one for us as well. I mean, there are so many factors that could affect this, but then per the data that you have given it, this is a trajectory that it has created. If you do not understand this, it's also suggesting to what, can you explain how the forecast was calculated? And then an explanation will be given to you where they use a linear regression. And per the data given, so historical data production data from January to May was used. Each month was assigned a numerical value. Okay. Okay. And also give us what our peak detection. The forecasted values were compared with historical data to identify the month with the highest production, which turned out to be August. And then one may ask why linear regression. So it's also explained why linear regression is ideal for this short-term forecasting. Let's also try another prompt. Let's say you wanted to draft a procurement email for low stocks item. Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you very well.
Yeah. All right. Okay, so let's carry on. Let's say you want to draft procurement emails. So let's say draft, no, so write a professional email to the procurement team requesting restock. So restock on what? We can give it things that we want it to buy. So we want a conveyor belt. We have 0 units. So we have 0 units of it at the moment. Lubricant oil. Have 5 liters. We have bearings. It's about 10 units. And based on how urgent you want to, you can tell it what emphasize urgency and give the prompt. So we created what? We created the email for us. So dear procurement team, I hope this message finds you well. They also give us a subject as well. I'm sure you realized. So we are currently facing critical shortages in essential maintenance supplies, which may impact production continuity if not addressed promptly. Please find the current stock levels below. So it gave us given the importance of these items in maintaining machine uptime and operational efficiency, I kindly request that restocking be prioritized as soon as possible. A very simple and concise email. You can also export it as a PDF file if you want to. But since this is an email, you can equally just copy and paste it in your email, your mail, and then just put in the necessary information, the name, the position, whoever is sending the mail, and whoever it is going to, you just add the address and then forward it. Simple. No need to type everything by yourself. Other aspects that Copilot can help us do is what? Create employees shift schedule templates. So let's say you've just been appointed as a supervisor to supervise a couple of your work colleagues, but you don't have a shift template to schedule work for for the employees that you've been put in charge of. So you can equally tell Copilot to create an employee shift template for you. So let's create one. So create a weekly shift schedule. template with 3 shifts per day. That's morning, afternoon, and evening. So maybe for 10 employees. So you see, you just created a weekly shift schedule where you can just download and it will create a schedule in an Excel form for you as well. You created a schedule perfectly. If you created yours or you followed what I'm doing, you would have also gotten yours, so you can check it out and see how the schedule was created. Yes. Don't know if you can see my schedule. I'm sure that side of the screen is not sharing. My Excel sheet, I just opened it. All right. So you created a simple schedule. So if you tried it, you would also notice it created a simple schedule for you as well for 10 employees. Let's see another use where you can use Copilot is also summarizing maintenance logs. So let's say you have several series of maintenance done in your organization or on your machines. You can create a log and let Copilot summarize it for you. So let's say we wanted to summarize this maintenance log and identify recurring issues. So let's say on the 10th of June, machine A had its belt replaced. On the 11th, machine B had its cooling system had a cooling system issue. On the 12th of June, machine A again had its belts replaced again. And finally, on the 13th of June, machine B had its cooling. There's a slight change here that the AI will be able to detect. So had a cooling system failure. So notice one thing that I want you all to clock. I want you all to notice when I issue the prompt. So we created what? A maintenance log summary from the 10th to 13th. So we put it in a simple tabular form. And then the recurring issues. So machine A had its belt replaced, which occurred twice within 3 days on the 10th and 12th of June. So they suggest that there's a possible issue with belt quality or alignment or tension. It also suggests what the problem is. So machine B had a cooling system problem. So it reported on consecutive days as 11th and 13th, which indicates a persistent or worsening. Yes, that's the thing I wanted the AI to get, and which it got. So it got worse. So on the 11th, the cooling system had an issue, but on the 13th, it actually failed. So that means it got worse, and then AI was able to detect that as well. And then it gave us recommendations to inspect belt alignments and tension system. Consider evaluating belt quality or the supplier. That means you can change where you're buying the belt from and get it from a different place and see. Another for machine B, it told you to conduct a full diagnostic on the cooling system, check for leakages, blockages, or failing components. It can also ask you to put it in the chat. So can you visualize this in the chat? It's generating. All right. So we generated a timeline chart visualizing the maintenance events from 10th to 13th. Very simple chart for machine A, which is belts, and machine B, which was a cooling issue. Very simple. Let's move away from machines and everything. Let's go into the HR side or the staff. We can have AI or Microsoft Copilot generate memos for employees in organizations. So let's say we want you to write a memo. So write a memo to all factory staff about the new safety protocols. Sorry. Protocols for operating heavy machinery, effective July 1st. And let's see what it does. So it gave us the formats for creating a memo to all staff from who it is coming from and the dates, which is today's date. So, and then the subject, implementation of new safety protocols for operating heavy machinery. It gave us all the necessary information. And without prior knowledge about these things, you can equally just prompt it and then it will give you all these. And these are all what's necessary information for handling heavy equipment. Very simple. So several ways AI can be incorporated or Microsoft Copilot can be incorporated into the industry. We can also even create presentations. Let's create a presentation. So create a 5-slide PowerPoint outline. A PowerPoint outline for a management presentation on Q2 production. So the second quarter. And strategies. For improving, maybe you're in the second quarter of the year, you want to analyze and improve efficiency for the third quarter of the year in your organization. So you can just generate it. I need to create a slide for you. So I'll ask you what's the title of the slide, which you can put there at the end of the day. So the first slide will talk about driving performance through insights and actions. It also created a second slide where it talks about units produced, monthly breakdowns, downtime for hours and machines. He also talked about performance highlights and challenges. And then efficiency strategies and action plan for the third quarter. If you want it to be generated in a PowerPoint file for you, you can just ask it to generate it. If you're not even getting these options, you can equally just type it. So there you have it. It has generated it. And you can just click on it and download. If you also followed, you would realize that it also has also been generated. All right. And then the only thing is you would have to go ahead and later design your PowerPoint. Because all you have to just design it. It has created everything for you. Ideally, if we were on the subscription I mentioned earlier, all you have to do is go to the apps section here, open PowerPoint. Open PowerPoint. Let me open it in a new tab. Open PowerPoint. Probably just type it or type what you want it to do, and it would have done it easily. And then probably even designed it based on your specifications. All you have to do is give it the specifications and it would have designed it in your preference for you. So let's say you are the organizational head. You probably may not have an idea about a certain job description in your organization, but you want to assign somebody to it. You want to write a job description. It can also help you. So let's say we want to write a job description for a supervisor. So write a job description for a factory floor supervisor, including key responsibilities. Qualifications and preferred experience. Maybe you're looking to find you're looking to employ somebody in the factory floor as a factory floor supervisor quickly. It gave you it created one for us. It even showed us the department where this will fall under. who this particular employee will report to, what the job summary is about. We are seeking a proactive and experienced factory floor supervisor to oversee daily operations on the production floor. The ideal candidate will ensure the manufacturing processes run smoothly, efficiently, and safely while meeting production targets and maintaining quality standards. Give us all the key responsibilities that are required of this individual that you may look to employ. It gives us what the qualifications that the person should have before the person can be employed, and the preferred experience as well. So you can have this in PDF if you want to. You can add more details about the company, tailor it more. You can either tailor it to fit your organization or your company that you are looking to employ in. As an organization, you can also use Copilot to summarize the performance review of individuals in your organization, just to make sure that you have a proper how do I call it? A proper analysis of the performance of each and everyone in your organization. So let's say you wanted to summarize the performance of technician, or say over the past quarter. So we can give it some of the qualities of technician, or say, which are always punctual, excellent with machine maintenance, needs improvements in documentation, and then probably he missed 2 safety trainings. Let's see what it will generate. So immediately it has created what's a report for us, a performance summary, where it talks about your strengths and then areas to improve. And it will also give you what an overall assessment. So you just have to copy this and put it in your Word, and then you have a summary of the person's report. You can equally let's just put it in a PDF form for you. Or let's see what it will do when we click on this. Okay. So I can equally just download it. You can also add a signature section to the document if you want. Include a rating scale for performance evaluation. I mean, there are so many things it could suggest for you to do. Let's try another demo where we can talk about certain standards of operation. So let's say we want to identify cost-saving opportunities in the organization. So that is the financial side of. So if you're in the account sector in the organization or in the industry, you can also use this to help you. So let's say here are monthly electricity costs for each machine. Machine A cost us 600 cedis to power. Machine B cost us 750 cedis to power. Machine C cost us 580 cedis to power. Suggest ways to reduce these costs based on industry practices. So to help reduce the monthly electricity cost for your machines A, B, and C, here are some industry best practices. So you can conduct an energy audit, identify which components or processes consume the most energy. Use a smart metered or sub-metered to track real-time usage of the machines. You can optimize machine usage and schedule a high energy tax during peak of hours if on a time of use tariff. So avoid idle running. Ensure machines are turned off or in low power mode when it's in use. They also give us preventive maintenance. Regularly clean and lubricate your machines to reduce friction and energy waste. Can replace worn out parts and also upgrade to energy efficient components. That is using, we can talk about solar, LED lights. Can also train staff on energy awareness, monitor and benchmark, and so on. You can also provide what's a visual breakdown of costs. All right. We generated the visual representation for us. You can also include it in a report. Let's say yes, include it in a report. Okay, so we just created a report for us where you can equally also download. All right. So last and final demo that I want us to try is to write a standard operating procedure. Let's say at the end of the day, I want the procedure on how to shut down machines and end shifts, switch to the next shift and everything. So I can let AI write an SOP for shutting down production equipment safely at the end of a shift. I'll tell it to use bullet points. They created one for us. The objective is to ensure that all production equipment is shut down safely and systematically at the end of every shift. So here are the procedures. If you are following this, you might also have the same thing on your screen. If you want it formatted into a printable document, or you want it in a PDF, yes, let's see what it does when I tell it to format it into a printable document. So you can add a signature section to the document, include revision history for tracking changes. Let's include. All right. So yeah, that is it. So basically, you always have to be to be specific and clear in your prompts, because these are the ways that will help you generate the best output for you. These are the best ways to help generate the best output for you. Basically, that is it. These are some of the demos and practices. There are so many things you can use Copilot to do. For customer satisfaction, for employee turnover, for product time to market. When is the best time to market? You can use it to generate. You can even use Copilot to simplify tasks for employees. You can even use it to plan the factory workers' daily activity for the day, like time to come to work, write assistance for the person, drafting of emails, getting your schedules, even to check alarm. AI can do all these things where it can be incorporated into your organization or your factory or your industry. And then it can automate every task in your organization for you. Sometimes these days, you don't even need to build a software or an ERP system anymore. With Copilot, you can incorporate all these, especially with the agents section I showed earlier. With the agent section, you can just automate everything and let everything follow a certain path. Because it's one thing about industries or organizations is they follow a specific order of doing things. One change or one mishap or if you skip one procedure, it jeopardizes everything that you are doing. So it's one of the easiest places to even put AI or ask AI to help you. because it's a stage by stage process. So it's one of the easiest places you can ask AI to support you in your production. I hope you all get me. All right. So is there any questions per se? Does anybody have a question on what we've been doing so far?
I think no questions at the moment for me. I think I just found this to be very interesting. Though I've been using AI for quite some time now, but quite interesting. It looks like AI keeps increasing every day and every day, and
Yes.
it looks like if your eyes are open to most of these things, especially those who are in the software industry who are into this kind of software development and all that, it means they need to watch out.
Yes.
It's either you upgrade and go into these AIs and all that and be able to know other ways that you can use to sell yourself that AI cannot actually do that. So
Yes.
then AI gets to that level that it can do that, then you change your skill to, and all that. It's quite interesting. So I'm glad I joined this class today. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you too. Anyone else, please? You can also type it in the chats.
Anyone else with questions or inputs or comments? Feel free to unmute, or you can as well put it in the chat room. I think, Francis, I think you while we await that, maybe you can go ahead. If we do have any comments in the chat room, your attention will be drawn to it.
Okay.
You are muted in case you're speaking. You're muted.
Yeah, I'm aware. Hold on. Give me a minute.
Okay. Yeah, Lawrence, is there something you want to say? I see your chat in the chat room. Is there something you want to say or you want to speak? You can unmute and speak.
Hello.
Yes, Lawrence,
I
please
just
go
want
ahead.
to say that I've been using Copilot, but the lecture has given me more understanding this morning.
Oh,
The other
great.
area where I can also exploit Copilot.
Okay,
This is
great.
very great.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for your comment. And we're happy you are getting value for your time and you're learning a lot.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other comments or questions or inputs before we continue or before we gradually bring this to a successful close, as the case may be?
Thank you so much, sir, for this expose. Yes, AI, I've been using AI for quite a while, and the aspect you brought in today, it's really quite commendable, and it has increased in my knowledge of AI. I really appreciate this class. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you too. So I quickly wanted to just share this slide with you. Let me just share the screen. So basically, so many aspects of AI as well. I mean, in the manufacturing Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
All right. If anyone else also has a question, you can also, Abrad, tell me and then speak if
Yes,
you want.
I have a question.
Yeah.
My question is majorly like when someone wants to upload data for Copilot to work on, how do we go by that process? Is there a particular way we can probably put it in a document and upload it or connect it to Copilot?
Yeah. So if you have data, it's very, very easy. You can equally just upload it. Or if you are still in your Copilot, you see there's a plus symbol where the chat box is. If you are still in your interface, there's a plus symbol where you type the prompts. There's a small plus symbol. So you just click on it. It will give you the options of what's uploading from your device or from your cloud files. So you can upload it. Equally, you can also just drag and drop your files or your data into the chat. It is very, very easy. You just drag and drop it in the chat, and then it will just upload your document, and then you give the prompt on what you want the document to what you want to be done on the document. So let's say you might have entry logs or entry logs of your employees. You may also have maintenance logs that you've already put in an Excel file or an Excel. It's already in an Excel file. You just upload it, and then the Microsoft Copilot will equally just analyze the document you shared and then generates the summary for you as and when you want it. If there was an incident that happened, even if you have a written incident, you can just take a picture of it, upload it, and then it will generate based on what it can capture. And so many others. You've got a receipt or an invoice of maybe an item that the organization needed that you've bought, and you want to generate a report for that receipt that you have. Take a picture, upload it. It will equally capture the information on the receipt or on the document, and what generates the report or whatever trend. Maybe maybe you've been buying. You're a company driver you're in the supply chain of the company. You have several series of fuel reports. Fuel receipts. Your supervisors have asked you to generate a report for the receipts that you've gathered over the period of time. So, and let them know on the trajectory, the trends at which fuel has increased or decreased. You can capture all these receipts, upload them based on the dates and the time that you bought all these fuel and the amount that you bought it at. It can generate a report and let you know when prices increase, when prices dropped, how much when you bought more fuel and when you bought less fuel. It can generate all these for you. Very, very simple. In an Excel form, Word form, you can tell it what you want to do. You want it to generate a chart, it can do that as well for you. Very simple. I hope you got me.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So basically, before I end, I just wanted us to look at this PowerPoint documents and what in certain aspects of manufacturing where AI can help us. That is the overview and KPIs. It can play a crucial role in the sector, providing a compass to navigate towards each success. So AI can simplify tasks that manufacturing pros perform every day. Look at key cases, how Copilot and the agents that we talked about can assist along the way. We can also use it to see how real-life manufacturing pros are using AI in their day-to-day lives. These are some goals and challenges, and then some rules. Let me scroll down. There's this last bit I wanted you all to see. That is a day in the life of a factory worker. So the benefits is save 15 minutes per day, you reduce downtime and improve quality. So let's say as at 8 a.m., you locate a procedure. So the manual for a piece of equipment has gone missing. So you ask Copilot to find a required maintenance procedure. So you can just prompt the AI to find a maintenance manual for a piece of machinery. So let's say the manual, the physical manual, the hard copy manual has gone missing. Instead of going around looking for it, you can use AI to generate or to find you by just giving the AI the name of the machine that you need a manual for, to generate a manual for you that you, so that you don't have to waste time looking for it. Maybe as at 9:30, you need to write an assistant. So Dan must write up a minor incident safety, something happened at the organization. So we are talking about Dan here. Dan is a machine operator. So something happened, and then Dan has to write a minor safety incident. He can use Copilot to ensure clarity and completeness. So all he has to do is write a safety incident report based on the incident. So maybe he might have a report of the incident either written or in a Word form. He will just have to upload it using the following bullet points. That was the bullet points were the things that happened. Maybe he didn't have time to write the entire, so he just jotted down the bullet points that were the major things that happened. So with so doing, the chat will just generate a safety incident report for Dan. Maybe Dan has to write an email to notify his supervisors about a production delay. With so doing, Dan will just prompt the chat to draft an email to the supervisor about a production delay. As a one, Dan needs help understanding the product schedule. So with so doing, Dan can just prompt it based on the weekly production schedule. How many tons of production are scheduled for today? You understand? And Dan can then know what the schedule is for that day. So there's an alarm on sometimes certain alarms may ring on some machines that you may not even understand. Maybe it's your first time in the organization, that the alarm is blowing, you don't know what it says for. So based on the alarm, there's an alarm on a piece of equipment. So Dan will describe the equipment, and then Dan asks Copilot for the most common causes from the maintenance manual. So based on the information in the maintenance manual, probably you have gotten that from the PDF you got in the morning. What are most likely causes for that alarm or alert in the what do you call it, in the machine or on the machine? And finally, before Dan probably closes for the day, he can draft a shift summary. He provides a few brief details of what's happened in the shift and asks Copilot to turn it into a shift report. So Dan will just prompt Copilot to turn that information into a shift report. And with so doing, from the moment Dan got into work until Dan closed from work, Copilot or AI has helped in Dan's schedule or in Dan's activity the entire day. Probably if he had to do everything manually, he would have wasted crucial time that was needed to do work would be needed in more production. But with the help of Copilot or AI, Dan has cut down the waiting time and saved several minutes of time per day. I hope you all get me.
Yes.
And there are several scenarios in here. And then Copilot has so many other features that you can explore. There's Copilot Power BI. There's so many aspects. Copilot Excel or Word, which I already spoke to you about, where you can just put your drafts a small message and then use a Copilot icon and then generate it for you. It will auto-generate. I'm sure you can see it here. Auto-generates every detail for you. And so on. Even with emails, you can just open Outlook type the person you want to send a message to, type something about the detail about the message, and then just by clicking on the icon, Copilot to generate the email for you, and just with a click of a button, you can send the email to the person. All right. So that will be it for the day. If there are any other questions, I don't know, you can go ahead and ask me.
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Sorry, please, I was off a bit. I was
Okay.
asking when I wanted to, the link you sent,
Okay.
I went to because I was using my phone to watch, so I didn't want to open there. I went to my laptop to copy the link and paste it there, but I noticed that it's asking for an access, either email or phone number. So
Okay.
I don't know, how do we get to enter into to work with the Copilot?
Okay, so you do with the chat, you do not need a login. You don't need to, but it's a free account. You can create a free account, but ideally you do not need to log in into. Let me send you another link. Let me see if this will work. Or anybody who already has the link can also drop it in the chat box. But I'm sending another link into the chat box. You do not need to have an account. It's only when you want to subscribe to extra features on the system, that is where you might need to, pay for 1 or 2 features. But ideally, it is free. You do not need to subscribe, or you do not need to log in. And if you create an account, it's free. You do not need to pay for anything. It is easy as that. Hello, have you seen the link?
Yeah, I've seen the link. Thank you for that. So with this link now, as soon as I get in, I can work with all the things we talked about.
Yeah. You can do everything I've talked about. Very simple.
Okay. Please, the video, please, will it be available, sir?
Yeah, I'm sure the video will be dropped in the chats at the end of the class.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
So while we're waiting for other questions, if you're here and you've not joined the official Telegram group, please indicate. And Damola and Mercy, I think you can reshare the Telegram group. So on the Telegram group is where we share the training materials as well as the video link for you to be able to watch and update yourself with what we've learned today. All right, so yeah, so Mercy and Damola, please reshare that Telegram group. And Francis, I'm guessing you've come to the end of the class. Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, so thank you very much, Francis. I mean, you've made it so interesting and so educative today, and I believe everybody on the call did enjoy this session, and I've taken home quite quality education or information this morning or this afternoon. So thank you very much. Can we put appreciation in the chat room? Round of applause.
You too.
Words of appreciation in the chat room to our trainer this morning. Thank you very much, Francis. Okay, do we have any questions for him? Any more questions for him before we let him go? While we take a brief announcement. Okay, so I'm guessing no more questions. So thank you very much, Francis. Do enjoy the rest of your day and do have a wonderful weekend ahead.
All right. Same to you as well, everybody. Have a nice weekend as well.
Thank you
Have a
very
nice
much.
weekend, everyone. Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Damola, over to you. I think you have a brief announcement to make. Is Damola still on the call?
Yes, Damola is here.
Okay.
Thank you very much. So for for some of us that know about Transformation College very well, you know we are very keen on informative education and making sure that you are the priority at the very best of information and being able to do everything in a simple way. So our summer programs are here and that started already. We have business analysis, project management, we have ISO standard, and we also have AI and machine learning. So if you want to join any of these courses, and I would advise for us here on this business AI analyst, pardon me, on this business AI analyst, we need to join this summer program. And this summer program is going to equip you with a lot of things like project management, like ISO standard and ethics. So I'm going to be sharing my screen right now. Just give me a moment while I do that. Can anyone see my screen now?
Not yet.
Okay. Give me a minute, please.
Okay, can you make me a co-host? Make me a co-host and let me share.
All right. I'll do that immediately. Yeah, that has been done.
Okay. All right, please confirm you can see my screen.
Yes, I can see your screen.
All right, so what Damola was saying is to bring to our knowledge for those who are not aware that we do have a diploma summer program ongoing, which started since the 7th of June, but registration is still ongoing. That's why we're bringing this information to you, and it's 100% tuition free. All you need to do is to pay a registration fee of 10,000 Naira. And what you see here are the content of the program. So we are taking the likes of, personal excellence program. We're looking at different aspects of human excellence. For this first segment, we look, so far we've done personal vision and goal setting. We've done ethics, and this Saturday, which is tomorrow, we'll be looking at etiquette and decorum. And I bet you it's a class you would love to enjoy because there are so many etiquettes that we, are not aware of, even office etiquette, social etiquettes and the likes, even eating etiquettes and the likes of it. There are so many etiquettes that we do not abide or exhibit, and that would this class is actually one class that you would not like to miss. And aside that, we also have the ISO standards segment, we have the business analysis segment, and we have the project management segment. So it's a full pack program, and just one ISO certification exam is worth over 50,000 Naira. Some are over 80,000, some are over 100,000, depending on the examination body or certification body, right? But we're doing these and we're committed to it. This is our third cohort, the third time we're doing it, and it's an annual summer program. So if you're on the call and you feel what you've seen on the screen is what you would like to learn and add to your skills and add to your knowledge, feel free to register for this course. Damola, you can share the registration link in the chat room as well. So we do have two sides to this summer program. This is for the business analysis, project management, and ISO standards side of it, and we do have the AI side of the summer program. So if you're interested to go for the AI summer program instead of the business analysis side, it's also the same 10,000 naira registration fee that is required of you. And what you see on the screen is the course content. So we explore the AI side.
Hello,
So
hello,
we
Mr. Can you
look
hear me?
more deeper into Microsoft Copilot week, and we're also going to round up. Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes,
I can hear you. Can you hear me,
it was
Damola?
breaking earlier, but it's better now.
Okay, so I was saying this is the AI side of things. Okay, so if you feel AI, the summer program for AI is best for you compared to the business analysis side of things, then register for this particular one. All right, where we explore the likes of ChatGPT, AI, Copilot, and the likes of it. So feel free to register. Registration is still ongoing. So that's it for the announcement segment this morning or this afternoon. So we are bringing this to a very successful close, and I do believe we all enjoyed our time in class today. We see you again next month. Please
Just to add something, the link for the registration on both the AI and the business analysis on the
in the chat room.
So
Okay, good.
If anyone is interested, just quickly go and make sure you are registered.
All right. Okay, so we see you again in class next month. Please be punctual and let's have a wonderful time in class again. Do enjoy the rest of your day and do have a wonderful, wonderful weekend ahead. Goodbye, stay happy and stay blessed.
Thank you.